Business is picking up. Hi, guys.
Hey, you working out too, huh? Well, that's the idea.
I need a steam to calm my nerves.
Oh, I thought I heard your voice. Edward, what do you hear from the governor?
Celia, not in front of other people.
Okay, excuse me. I just can't stand the waiting.
Well, this isn't the proper place to talk about it.
No, all right. Go ahead. We'll talk about it later.
Just stay cool.
I'll try.
Okay. See you later. Come on, let's go.
Have a nice workout.
Right.
Ooh, where'd you get the rose?
Brian, we had a bit of an argument about my not being at home enough lately, you know.
Obviously, he decided he was wrong.
Well, actually, he wasn't wrong. I've been covering for Lorena, and I have been spending too much time away from my family.
Why? She's still in bed with the flu or somebody?
Oh, that's funny. No, dear, with the flu. Let me ask you, would you mind helping out around here a little bit?
I couldn't care less about Lorena's spa. I'm too concerned about Jimmy Lee's future right now, and my own, to concentrate about this place.
Yes, but it doesn't take anything to concentrate. Just be here.
I wouldn't lift a finger to help Lorena.
Celia, you haven't forgotten that the boutique part of the spa is for charity. If this spa folds, we won't...
Well, I know. We're just going to have to let it then. I'm sorry, but sometimes you have to look out for numero uno, if you know what that means.
Please, I do not need Spanish lessons from you, Miss Day.
Well, you don't seem to realize that if Jimmy Lee doesn't get on his feet financially, I won't even be able to afford dues to the spa.
You're right. I'm sorry. I guess I just wasn't thinking. And it's probably the same for Bobby Brock.
Celia, would you watch the front desk for me?
Right there.
Oh, good. We're finally alone. What's the latest from the governor?
Haven't heard a word yet.
I cannot stand this waiting to hear whether Sean Donnelly is going to be penned up or set free.
Edward, this waiting is playing havoc with my personal life.
I'd say that's the least of your worries.
No word from the bankers about the loans?
Well, I must admit the pressure I've been putting on those bankers to dump Donnelly has not been working.
You know what the problem is, don't you?
Which one?
If Sean Donnelly was in jail rather than General Hospital, they'd dump him in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
But we gotta get him out of General.
Well, after the scene I had with Rick the other day, I doubt he's ever going to give that judge an okay to throw that bum back in jail.
There's something I'd like to know.
What?
Is Sean Donnelly really too sick to leave General?
Well, his heart monitor went crazy the other day when Edward and I went to see him.
Yeah, I still don't understand why they can't take care of him in the prison infirmary.
Well, Monica sure jumped on me the other day when I visited Sean. I thought she'd come around our side, but she is all for Sean.
Well, that's where Alan is not carrying his weight in this whole matter.
What do you mean?
He's not handling Monica at all well.
There's still problems between them?
Well, if I don't do something, he may push Monica into a divorce.
Sometimes in matters like that, an outsider can't do much.
Well, this outsider had better do something. I can't have that marriage break up. We're all too involved financially. It'd be a disaster if Monica ever walked out.
You gotta be kidding.
Am I kidding when I say if Monica goes, there goes the Quartermain Mansion and the gatehouse where you live, too?
No, you can't mean that.
Well, it just so happens they're both in her name. Oh, God, I feel a sick knot in the pit of my stomach as I say it. What a tangled web we all weave.
It's a great way of putting it.
Shakespeare put it that way first.
I wouldn't be too sure about that.
The gatehouse, too?
Yep.
Jimmy Lee, what are we going to do if we don't even have the gatehouse to call a home?
Well, don't give up hope yet, children. Now, we've all got to stick together. I still carry some kind of weight around General Hospital.
I'm just leaving.
Have a seat, Edward. Yeah, thank you, Steve. This won't take but a moment. You'll give me prompt action, I'm sure. Well, you've heard the old expression, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yes, I've heard it, but I don't like it. In fact, I hate it.
Oh, I see. Well, actually, that's not the point. This is a matter of justice being done, and you're all for that, I am sure.
Yes, of course.
Steve, I am of the firm opinion that Sean Donnelly should be released from General Hospital and put into that prison infirmary. His being here is giving the hospital a very bad name.
I haven't been aware of that.
Well, I'm out among the people, and I hear the talk, believe me. And as chairman of the board, I'm very much concerned.
Well, my concerns are different from yours, Edward. My concerns are for patients.
Well, yes, of course, but Donnelly belongs behind bars. You know, in jail, receiving treatment, but behind bars.
I'm sorry, but I have to stand behind my doctors, Monica and Rick, who believe otherwise.
You know, this stand of yours could be a big embarrassment someday.
It's happened before, Edward, but it doesn't alter the fact that I have to stand behind my doctors in General Hospital.
Yo. Hey, Jimmy Lee.
Amy said you were here?
I was looking for something in one of Steve's files. I can't read his writing. What's wrong?
Sure know how to read me fast, don't you?
You're either up or you're down. There are no grays. Have a seat. What is it?
Well, you know, I was talking about going broke.
Yeah, you were.
Well, the time has come. What you talk about comes true.
So, how much do you want?
I knew you were going to say that, and I have to say thanks, but no thanks.
Now, why not, for heaven's sake?
Because you wouldn't accept interest.
Of course not.
And I don't accept charity.
Well, you leave me with very little to say. You've got that old ornery mule look on your face. I remember it very well.
Look, what I need is a friend.
You've obviously come to the wrong place.
I was counting on Sean Donnelly's company to float me for a while.
Is that dead?
Well, it doesn't look good. And now Celia and I look like we're gonna even have to move from the gatehouse.
Really? Why?
I forget it. I don't want to talk about that. I haven't told this to anybody. I've been counting nickels and dimes.
Listen, old friend, you're strong. You're tough. You're hard as nails. Why don't you go back into construction work? As a laborer, where you started. Get rid of some of that tension so you can start thinking clearly again, because you're not thinking clearly now. Is there any construction work going on around town?
Yeah, I saw half-day work, yeah.
Today?
Yeah?
Well, can you find the place again?
Yeah, I can.
Well, then I'd grab it.
You know something? You're an expert at bringing people down to earth.
Well, I've had a lot of practice with med students.
You know, maybe I'd have been a med student.
No, I haven't heard from Jimmy Lee since we talked at the spa.
Well, he's usually so good about calling if he's going to be late.
Yeah, well, why don't you check with Buzz Stryker? He may have heard from him.
It's a good idea.
Oh, hold it. Somebody's at the front door. Oh, good Lord. Look what the cat dragged in.
Thanks.
Lee, what happened? I've been so worried about you.
I took a job on a construction site. I was going to work all night, but I got beat.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because I wanted to see if I could earn money. I could still provide for you.
Isn't that a bit extreme?
But I got my answer. Soft.
We still have some money in the bank, don't we?
Zero. Zip. You know, the goal of going broke is to go broke, and guess what? We made it.
I don't understand. What about that retainer I've been paying you?
Oh, that's very good. That almost pays the heating bill.
Well, there's a good deal to be said for staying lean and hungry when you're after big game like the Sean Donnelly Shipping Company. Jimmy Lee, I came over here to discuss some business with you tonight. But I see you're in no condition, so we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Good night, Steve.
Good night. Oh. Lee,
What?
I'm very touched.
About what?
About you working like this for me.
Well, that's the only way I've been able to show you my love lately. Hey, honey, ooh, I'm all dirty, honey.
You've forgotten.
What?
You've forgotten the first time we made love. You were all covered with soot and sweat. You were primitive.
Gritty.
Yes. I like it when you talk like that.
Yeah.